Hi, Davide. How are you?
Hi, I'm good, thanks. And you?
I'm good, thank you. So, thank you so much for doing this with me. I know that you have a very busy schedule, and today we'll be talking about your experience with the CFA program. I watched some of your videos, and I watched one, like a recent one, where you said that you got the charter. So, tell us first a little bit about yourself, what you do, where you work, where you're based, and then we will go from there.
Okay, perfect. First of all, thanks for hosting. And yeah, I'm a registered financial planner in Italy. So I mainly do financial planning for individual, or I also help companies dealing with their finances. But as you said, I'm also active on YouTube, where I have a channel, but it's in Italian.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And tell us a little bit about your experience with finance. What did you study? Where did you study? And when did you start with with the CFA program?
Yeah, sure. First of all, I started studying economics and finance in Italy. I did my bachelor here, where I studied 3 years. And after that, I did my master at WU Wien, so in Vienna. And there I studied quantitative finance. So I would say it's a perfect background for the CFA, because you have a bit of quant and a bit of economics, finance. So yeah, and that's it.
Mm-hmm. And when did you start with the CFA program? Like, what made you start? How long?
Yeah, sure. I started in August 2020, just right after the ending of my master. But it was quite a bit challenging, because the first exam was scheduled in February 2021. But in the end, with COVID and everything, I got my exam moved, and so I basically started studying in August 2020 for level one, and then I had to take it in November 2021. So that was one of the most challenging part of the CFA program, I would say.
Mm-hmm. And this is why I reached out to you, because I think both of us share the same educational background, because I'm also from I have a finance background. I did my bachelor in finance, and I studied with the CFA program in 2019. And there's been a lot of changes in the program, especially because of the pandemic. And I felt that you were a perfect fit to share your experience of doing the exams during the COVID period, and also how things have changed since then. So I wanted to know, because also for me, when I took level 2, I think it got postponed like 2-3 times. So I had to keep revising. It was hell. It was exhausting. So when did you get the charter, and what was your experience with the CFA program in general? Like, was it hard? Did you enjoy it? What made you start from the beginning?
Yeah, I got my charter in November, last November, and the experience was I enjoyed a lot the process, and I think that's the most important part. As you arrive at the end and you say, well, after all, I worked a lot for it, and it's not that special, I would say. I mean, it's a really nice program, and it's giving you so many. It's giving you a perfect background for any job in finance, I would say. So that's what I like the most. But other than that, it was obviously something that I have been proud of at the end of this program, because it has also been a bit stressful in the process.
Mm-hmm. So you took a level 1 in 2021. When did you take level 2 and level 3?
Yeah, basically it was level 1 2021, level 2 2022, level 3 2023, and more or less November, August, I think, something like that.
Mm-hmm. And what was the main challenge for you? Like, was it doing the exam back to back? Was it the learning process? Was it the fact that you had to study? Like, what did you find it was challenging? Especially because you have your own, like you're an independent professional, if I'm correct.
I would say that the most challenging thing was to organize, because for my job is like sometimes I have more time to independent learning, and sometimes I don't have, and it's difficult to plan it. So in particular, for level 2, I was a bit stressed at the end, because I found myself full of work, and in the meantime, not really having enough time to study for level 2. So I would say working and studying was the main challenge, and I guess it would be more or less the same for anyone taking the program while working.
Mm-hmm. And when did you usually study? Like, was it a certain time during the day? Was it in the morning? Was it only on the weekends?
Yeah, I can't really say, because it depends. It depended on the week. So sometimes at night, sometimes in the weekend, and so on. So and also I'm not really the most organized person. So I was just trying to find some space to study for the CFA here and there, and that's how I did it.
Mm-hmm. How many hours did you put for each of the level, or how many hours did you do per week when it came to studying?
Yeah, again, I didn't really take perfect track of how much did I study, but I would say around the 300 hour.
Okay.
The famous 300 hour, and it was, I would say it was enough. But again, the hour that you need to study for each level vary depending on your background a lot, I would say, and also vary on the level, because level 1, if you have a finance background, is, I would say, quite easy, while it's just a refresher, I would say, from a bachelor in finance or a master in finance, while level 2 and level 3 build a lot on these topics that you have seen on level 1, and get tougher and tougher.
Mm-hmm. I like how you say you felt level 1 was easy. Like, there is still relatively low percentage rate of people that pass the exam. So I'm surprised you said that, but I think it's also because, like you said, you have a master in quantitative, so I think that also helps.
Yeah, and I think the percentage is a bit. It's not that anyone that takes level 1 has a finance background. So if you come with a finance background, I would say that level 1 is easier, at least. And but after that, level 2 and level 3 get tougher also if you come from a finance background. Yeah. And the quantitative part also helped, because from what I heard, if you don't have a quantitative background, the quant part, it's the toughest one.
Yeah. And tell me another thing, what materials did you use?
I basically only used Mark Meldrum plus the CFA official material.
Okay, see. And did you buy any practice materials, or did you use everything that was given by Mark Meldrum?
Yeah, I didn't even look a lot at the practicing from Mark Meldrum. I just focus on the CFA Institute practice question and mock exam. And to practice, I basically just use the official material. And to study, I mainly used Mark Meldrum, and then went through the CFA Institute material when something wasn't completely clear.
Mm-hmm. Did you use Mark Meldrum and the CFA materials for each of the levels?
Yes, from level 1 till level 3.
Okay, I see. My other question is, you're based in Italy, so what is the percentage of people that actually sign up to the CFA program? Because I think you're probably the first person that I know who's from Italy who did the CFA program. So I'm not, like, I know a few others, but I feel like it's so heavily based in the States and in Canada, so I don't know, like, if people in Italy actually pursue the CFA designations.
I don't know. I would say as a financial planner, I don't know anyone with the CFA. Maybe if you are in the industry, more in the asset management side of finance or something like that, you see some more people with the CFA. Anyway, there is a CFA society in Italy, so we have some CFAs, but also in my day-to-day life, it's not that my customer, my client know what the CFA program is and the importance of the charter.
So you spoke about a little bit about your professional life. How do you feel that the CFA program or getting the CFA designation has helped your professional life?
I would say it's more of indirect help. So it's not the day after I got my charter, I got my phone ringing from 9 in the morning with people asking for advice. But I would say it helped a lot to increase my professional background, my technical skills, and in general, it helped me improve as a person, and that helped, and it's gonna help my professional career. Direct help, I wouldn't say, because as I said, I work with many people outside of the finance world, so maybe the CFA charter is not that known, in particular in Italy. I don't know in other countries.
Yeah, I know that in other countries, and I mean, I'm speaking from the Canadian perspective and the American perspective, like it is well known. People know what it is. And like it's just that when you see people with those 3 letters next to your name, you know that they have a certain credibility. So it's like it's almost like it's almost like it's an added value, and it's this is why a lot of people pursue the CFA designation, like in the States or in Canada. Like, it's really well known. I wasn't quite sure about Italy, but I know that they have a CFA society. Italy, I know that.
Yeah, sure.
So I do want to ask you one last question, which is if you could share some tips or strategies for anyone who wants to pursue the CFA designation. Like, what would you like to tell them? Or if someone who is studying or wants to study for level 1, or wants to, or someone who's also like studying for level 2 or level 3, like, what would you like to share, or some strategies?
I didn't have any special strategy, but I would say what I learned by doing is that the practice material, I would say, is the most important part of the studying part in order to pass the exams. Because for level 1, I put a lot of focus on learning, and then started doing the practice material quite late. And maybe if I was starting with the practice from months before the exam, it would have helped me be even more take the exam calmer than I did. While for level 2 and level 3, I focused a lot on practice, and it made it a bit easier maybe than what it would have been if the approach was different.
So basically the key is just practice as much as you can for any level.
Yeah, because it also helps to understand if you really understood the topic, or if something is missing.
Yeah, definitely. This is also one of the things that I share on my channel is if you want to make sure that if you want to ensure that you're passing the exam, you want to make sure that you are practicing as much as you can, because really that's what will set you apart from the rest of the candidates, because you can read as much as you want, but if you're not able to solve the problem, it just makes it so much harder.
Yeah, sure. I mean, on the other hand, also be careful not to practice too much and maybe the same question, because then you get to learn the material. I don't know if you had the CFA learning ecosystem where you had your quantile of correct answer, and it was so much skewed by people doing and doing and doing again the same questions. And then when you get the same question in the exam, but a bit different, you don't know how to solve it. So I think if you have a lot of time, the CFA practice should be at the end of your journey. Maybe start with other practicing material and then focus on the CFA practice question, I don't know, the last month or something like that. That's what worked quite well for me.
Yeah, I do think it just goes like person by person, because I didn't leave the practice to the end. I practiced pretty much every day. But it's like for you, for instance, just doing it at the end. But I think it just everyone has to find their own method, what works best for them.
Yeah.
And what you were talking before about like practicing, but don't do it too much. I think the problem with that is that if you keep practicing the same problem, you tend to memorize the answer. That was the problem. So that's why, like, I think it's better to do spaced repetition, like where, let's say this month I do this practice, and then next month or in 2 months I try to do this problem again to see if I'm able to do it. I think like giving yourself some space in between problems, I think it's also another way to see if you have understood the concept.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Davide. So I'm gonna, before we go, I do have 5 rapid fire questions for you. Are you ready?
Okay, I'm ready.
All right. This is really not related to the CFA. It's something more in general, so you can like relax a little bit.
Okay.
So the first question is, what is your favorite emoji and why?
Oh, my favorite emoji. I would say it's the strong arm.
Okay.
So, and I like it a lot because it can be used to answer many messages and to keep a positive attitude.
I like that. The second question is, if you could eat only one dessert, what would it be?
As Italian, I would say tiramisu.
Yeah, that's so
I really
good.
need
That's so
tiramisu.
Good. Yeah. The third question, what is the craziest thing you have ever done?
Oof. I would say the craziest thing was just when I decided in the middle of my bachelor to move to London for some time, just look for internship and take some time to stay in London and experience a different lifestyle. And it wasn't really planned that with an internship over there or a work over there. So I was 19, 20, and I just moved there. And that's, I would say, the craziest thing.
Okay, fair enough. Fourth question, one word to describe your experience with the CFA program.
Enriching, I would say.
I like it. Last question, if you could have any job in the world for one day, what would it be?
The first thing that came to my mind was my job, because I really like what I do. I like that I'm my own boss, let's say, and the flexibility that it gives me. But to give you a more exotic answer, I would say footballer, because when I was a child, I loved playing football. I played until I started studying, and then when I was 10, 15 years old, I dreamed to be a footballer. So
You're
I would say
talking
that.
about Italian football, soccer you're talking about,
Yeah,
right? Yeah.
soccer. Yeah.
Yeah. I like to make that, I like to distinguish it because I do have people watching from all over the world and they might think of
Yeah, sure.
American football. Okay, that's it. Those were all of my questions, Davide. I want to thank you so much for coming today to my channel. Before we go, do you want to tell us where people
Thank
can
you.
find you?
Yeah, I'm mainly active on YouTube, where I have a channel where I speak about finance. It's a Italian channel, but yeah, give it a try.
Okay, so you only have a YouTube channel, right? And that's it.
I mean, I have other social network. I'm on LinkedIn and other social, but I'm mainly active on YouTube.
Okay, perfect. Well, I'm gonna put in the description the link to your YouTube channel so people can follow you. I watched a lot of the videos and you do have great content, even though they're in Italian, but I'm pretty sure a lot of people who know Italian will find it very useful. So thank you again,
Thanks.
Davide, and I wish you a nice day.
Thank you. You too. Thanks for hosting.